Overnight, the clock will spring forward in a bittersweet sign that spring is on the way. And even though it's still kind of cold outside, so we don't know if it's spring or not, it means it's time for some spring cleaning. Today, professional organizer Stasia Symes is back with tips on cleaning your outdoor space. I'm trying to get my desk right here cleaned up. I got scripts everywhere. So we are talking about spring cleaning. This is always, it's kind of cliche, but it's actually a very necessary thing going forward.
Spring cleaning is once again a fantastic opportunity to have a clean slate, fresh start, and you want to start with the outdoors before it gets too hot. People don't want to bring some things into their home, and unfortunately things on outside of your home become an eyesore, and that's where the neighbors can see.
I still see some Christmas lights and Mardi Gras lights up. I'm not judging anyone, but these are some of the things that we need to start to put away somewhere, right?
Yeah, so if we're talking about your garage, your front porch, your backyard, sheds, things like that outside of your home, you might be collecting building materials, large appliances, broken furniture, your there's no limit to the creative.
What we have here is this is what, a driveway.
Yes, so if you're pulling up and this is kind of like your hot spot because it's the most convenient place for you to drop things off. So what we ended up doing was designated area in the shed and relocated the majority of these items because they're all garden items. And anything left over was either donated or recycled or tossed.
And if you are a sort of a shop person, someone that likes to work in closed spaces, we have another picture here that you sent in. Let's talk about this. Look at this. This is that is a mess. Like, how do you even get that together?
So this is actually our lead professional organizer, Jennifer Wire's work. She was working with her client. His goal here was to have a woodworking shed again. It's easier to be organized when you have less stuff. And making a decision on every item that you touch. So going through this and just determining what is it that actually belongs in the space, and if you can get rid of any of these things that you're not using, then you're basically making your life a lot easier.
You know, the rule in my house is if you haven't touched it in a year, it's got to go.
That's a great rule. That's a great rule.
Go.
Yes.
Okay, and so I'm a man who likes to work in the garage. I have a lot of stuff that I put in our storage shed or in our garage, but it does not look like this. Maybe some people I know, it may look like this, but how do you clean up something like this where it becomes sort of a storage as opposed to a place to park my car?
So having a goal, first of all, is really important. So if your goal is just something as simple as wanting to park your car in the garage, that's step one. Step two, and I just said this now, it's worth repeating, make a decision on every single item that you touch. It is about progress, not perfection, so don't be too hard on yourself. But when you touch something, it either needs to be donated, kept, recycled, or tossed. And you might be surprised to find out that something like that garage that we were just looking at here, you can generate zero to very little garbage.
How long does something like that take?
That right there was a session that we spent a day on. So we spent about 6 hours making decisions on all of these items. A lot of donations were happening there.
All right, and so there's also a list of resources that you mentioned here, and so we have obviously who you can call here, the Green Project. So these are great resources for people who don't know what to do with their stuff, or rather you've figured out what you want to do with it, but how do you get rid of it? If you feel like this is something that you could do on your own, but you are looking for a little more inspiration and guidance, I invite everyone to come to my Spring Clean Workshop, which is happening on Wednesday, March 25th. 5:30 p.m. at Pearl Wine Shop. All right.
And if you feel like, you know what, Stasia, I'm not going to do any of this by myself. I'm just going to be honest. And well, that's why I'm a professional organizer. So anybody who's just ready to get the ball rolling can call me today, and they'll save $25 on their first spring clean session in March.
All right. Well, that's perfect. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Antoine.